when you get older, your aversion to risk will have you kind of in this constant contraction of what you're willing to do, sort of like your comfort zone kind of gets a little bit tighter, like, hey, do you want to go base jumping? I mean, if I said that to 19-year-old me, and I'm like, is it a really good shoot? Sure. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever it was, I was like, sure. I don't have kids, it's like, whatever. And then racing downhill on the mountain bikes, like I'd race downhill. Now I'm kind of like calculated with my risks, but you do find that you kind of have this very slight contraction of what you're comfortable doing, skydiving or like, pushing the limits becomes, so you have to fight that. You have to expand, and it's not this, I think aging gracefully was one of your topics, and it is not a passive exercise. I mean, you need to push on that bag to stretch it. You need to fight for every bit of your mobility. You need to fight for every bit of your health. And you need to work for it because you're worth it. I see a lot of people just kind of give in. They say, hey, I used to be an athlete. I used to do this. And, now I've got this knee issue and it's holding me back. And it's so easy to just let go. It's so easy to let go and say, all right, you win. I say, fuck that. You know what? You have to do it for you. And that is, I mean, it's an act of defiance, to be honest, to stay in shape, to go to the gym. I mean, like people see me in the gym and I don't even know what they're thinking. Like, look at this old dude lifting weights. That's cute. Like I don't know what they're thinking as I like am lifting my like, fairly modest weight. But if they realize that I rode 60 miles before I showed up, they might think of it a little bit differently. And it's all good. It's whatever. The way I see, health and fitness and performance is very, very different than the way a lot of other people do. It's a continuum from zero to hero. And you decide if you slide this way or if you climb that way. And down here is death the farther down you go. So your abilities and your physical performance and your cardiac performance and your resistance to chronic disease is down here in the slope, and then your performance in your race podium is up here in the slope. So the more you climb up that slope, the healthier you're going to be in the long run. Now, of course, I could, keel next year for something else, but generally speaking, there's a lot to be gained there, and there are some outstanding examples. There was a guy that did we had an event last week called the Shenandoah Graveler. We had a 20 and a 50 and a 80 mile route, and a guy, Michael, he's 68 years old, did the 80 mile route. I mean, this guy comes out to our events, and man, I mean, it's not easy for him. He's got some physical issues, and he trains as much as he can when he can, but he comes out and he does these things, and I'm just like, that is awesome. You kind of just have to stay out of your own head a little bit, I think, and that's kind of my moral. I mean, it's easier said than done. I have my own doubts. You talk about my successes, I'll show you my 1,000 failures. You talk about the training that I've achieved or done that is impressive. I'll tell you about all the failed trainings, the knee issues, the low back issues. Just, I could just go on, but there's no point. I just move past that. I have no ACL in my left knee, but I'll run 3 miles. I'll lift weights. I'll toss a 250-pound tire sometimes. Like, I just do it. I just go out there and I respect my limits,
Mm-hmm.
and when I'm ripping downhill, I just have to, you know, respect and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I shred. I still like, have a blast and, love to ride hard and uphill and downhill. Just have to, yeah, treat the machine, really nicely. It's kind of like
Sure.
it's kind of like a classic car, I mean, are you going to go and put the pedal down? Yes. You don't want to mess it up though, but you're going to get out and open the pipes up, of course.